Hello guys and welcome back. This is Silence Pew Pew, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to play OpenTTD. Now I'm not the best at this game or whatever, but I mean it's pretty simple concept, move people and or goods to a different location, um, and make money that way, and keep expanding, and so on and so forth. But anyways, so we're gonna give this thing a little bit of a try here. So I downloaded some additional vehicles or whatever you want to call them. I am simply going to try to only use land vehicles. Well, that's not a good way to describe it. I guess like trucks and stuff like that. We're gonna start off with just moving passengers around with vehicles. We're going to start as about early as I could find a vehicle for, which is 1910. Not any kind of crazy big map or anything like that. We're not going to be trying to take over the map because, like I said, we're only going to be moving uh, a small amount of people a short distance in the first place. So let's go ahead and get into it. So actually, before we start, I did turn down a lot of this stuff here. We don't need a lot of industries. We don't need a lot of rivers. I did kind of keep the terrain flat just because it's easier. I don't got to worry about deleting mountains and shit. So here we go. Okay, so when you first load into the game, one of the important things you should do is kind of click on the map here. I like to zoom out just to kind of get a feel for what we're dealing with here. So you can see quite a bit of towns all around and stuff like that. It is a larger of the maps, I guess you could say. I do like to kind of stay near the higher end so that way I have more choices of cities. Next thing then that you should do is you should go to, what is it, town directory. And then I like to sort by population and sort by the highest city. Then we click to go on to the highest city here, and we can see that the biggest city is up here in not really a corner of the map, but the top of the map. We're actually, I guess we're kind of close to that corner, but not really. So in reality, this could limit us in growth in more ways than one, but I think this will be fine. Um, Yeah, we should be able to work off this. So first thing we want to do is, now that we've established that this is the town that we're going to run out of, we could run out of this one here, but that's actually in the corner again, and that would probably be worse. But this one here has got a 300 and a 900 near it. Okay, and by near it, I mean they're not really, the 900 is really not that close. But we could set up bus stations, so a bus comes out here, then just trucks along down here, drops off, swings around, comes back, right? Which would not be bad. That's a decent distance to drive. So cargo payment rates, yeah. So as you can see here, if we get rid of some of these other ones here, okay, we'll just get rid of all of them, I guess. We'll just keep that passengers and mail, just for comparison. Okay, so as you can see, if you travel uh, 20 squares, that's what it is. Okay, this graph shows for 20 squares. If you travel 20 squares and it takes you 10 days to get there, if for every passenger you deliver, oh, nope, 10. Every 10 passengers you deliver, you'll get paid about $150-ish. Mail, on the other hand, you'll get $220 if you travel a minimum of 20 squares, right? Um, and you do it in 10 days. If you do it in 200 days, they're only going to pay you $90. But from my understanding, that increases every 20 square distance you go. So if we're doing this delivery here, here the whole way down to there, let's say that's probably close to probably 40, maybe almost 60 squares. So these numbers here should double in theory. I think is kind of how that works. I wish you could change this number here so you could get a better understanding of it. But basically, if you deliver 40 squares away in, I want to say, 20 days, So sticking here 20 days, you should get $300 for every 10 people you deliver. I think is how it works. I'm not 100% positive on that, but it doesn't really matter. But either way, the further away you go, the more profitable it can be, as long as it doesn't take too long of time-wise. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to set this up a while. I always do that. I don't know why. All right. So first thing we're going to want to do is come into here and throw down some of these. So I'm going to set this up a while, and we'll be back. Okay, so taking a look at this here, I'll show you some of the stuff I quickly did. So we put down a station here, 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 and there, kind of all on the edges-ish of the town. A couple of these stations overlap a little bit in some areas, but this gets us almost all 3,500 population that is possible. And then what we did was we connected this up right here. We built this road just that way it was connected. Now, we're going to make this right here our main station, Mudhood. I don't know, Mudhead. However you pronounce that, honestly, I have no idea. Either way, so that's going to be our main station. So all of these other stations are going to link up to this one. What I mean by that is they're going to pick up passengers from here, 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 and drop them off here. That is their only job. Once they drop them off here, those passengers are locked onto that platform. New passengers can spawn in at like this house or these houses here and walk there, I guess, right? Once they're here, though, they have nowhere else to go except over to this town, is now what I'm going to set up. And I'll show you what that looks like here in just a minute. Okay, so I've just bought 3 vehicles and built a little bit more of a road here. So at this point now, we bought 4 vehicles. This 4th one doesn't have a route yet, okay? And we'll get into that in a minute. These other 3 all have a single route each. So this bus is going to come down to the east station here, pick up all of the passengers that are currently here, which is none. Once it is full with its 34 passengers, it will then bring them back up to this station here, where they will sit until some other bus comes along to pick them up. And then the next bus will go here, do the exact same thing, and then the third bus will go here and do the exact same thing. The 4th bus will then pick up all the passengers from here and run them to the other station. You can kind of see now what's going on here. All of these people, for whatever reason, want to go to that other city. Okay? Once they're over there, that other bus is going to be able to take them back. But in reality, we're going to need more than one bus from Mahed here to, what was it, Tronlo, in order to actually be efficient, as there's 3 buses dropping off to this one station. So realistically, we'd need a minimum of 3 buses to keep up with that. But these guys have such a shorter distance to drive, we're going to need more. And like I said, we'll set that up real quick, and I'll show you all what that looks like. And then this is just a very simple, easy way to make money quickly, or not quickly. I'm sorry. This is an effective way to make money, and it's kind of not exactly what you'd think you'd want to do in a game like this. You'd think you'd want to link up all these bus stations and just have them constantly flowing around to each other, like in a giant circle, dropping people off, picking them up. But this method here that I'm going to show you is more profitable in the long run. Okay, so now we went ahead and did that. So we built a little bus station right here. This is basically in the center of the town. Its coverage is almost the entire city, which is great. Unfortunately, it's missing the soccer field or whatever, but that's fine. So it's got majority of the city here. I went ahead and created this little loop, and then I connected this big, long, straight road as straight as I basically could to here. Now with this also, actually, you're going to want to throw in the depot. You want to do this with train stations for sure, just so that way people, your vehicles come out and are getting repaired. I might actually go back in and throw the station in there. Because they are going to break down. Now on these longer journeys though, you're going to want them to repair every single time, even if they don't need it. Versus these shorter ones, they'll be within a close enough distance that they'll make it to the repair thing when they want. Every 150 days, so twice a year basically, they're going to come and they're going to go get fixed by themselves anyways. So do I need to do that with them? Probably not. With these other ones making those long journeys, we're going to want to, because it'll take them probably a month to get to each town. And if it takes them 30 days to get there, that's 30 days of straight driving. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's 30 days of straight driving and then another 30 days back. So that's 60 days. So you do that 4 times, you're at 120. At what point does the bus start to lose its, ability to continue to drive like that, right? Yada, yada, yada. So just every time, if you can get them to stop at a vehicle depot, technically their maintenance period will be now every 60 days roughly, which is much better than every 150. All right, so we will tell this guy to go ahead, and then we're going to, we'll just start with that. We want him to full load at both of those, so he's going to fully unload, and then he's going to fully load. So people from Mahed here can go to Tronlo. Yep, Tronlo, just as much as they want. So, and you'll note the starting populations of all of these. So this is going down as people are, I don't know exactly how it works. The city sacrifices population to make buildings and roads. Those buildings and roads then allow for more population to come in, allowing the number to grow up. Same thing with Tronlo. They started actually the game at like 9,000 something, so they've only been growing. And now that we've just given them free road, they can start building on some of the surrounding road, because all buildings have to be touching roads in some way. And then the more stations and the more people we bring in and out, the more each of these cities will grow. And it will get to a point where these cities will start to build their own roads and connect them up, build way more. So, okay, so going ahead and looking at this here, you can see a couple of, it's probably a pretty confusing screen. So we're in May, the 4th month basically now, or I'm sorry, the 6th month. Is June anyways. So now we've just transferred over to June, so I'm going to go ahead and pause right there. So I had a little bit of an issue, okay, and I kind of thought that I was going to run into this issue, but we'll just go through this in stages. So reliability on these things when you buy them, I think, is only like 60%. They're all down in the 40s now, okay? Some of them have not picked up any passengers yet. Some of them have gotten their first set of passengers and are now on the road to go deliver those passengers, and only one of them has finally made its first delivery and has picked up its second group of passengers, and is attempting to deliver them now. So, this is the only one that has made me any money yet. It made $1,200, okay? Like I said, we are 6 months into the game, and we have made a total of $1,200, okay? Not counting the losses of these vehicles and technically the losses that these vehicles will accumulate as well. These vehicles do get paid still because they are moving you from one station to another, so they're still picking up somebody. So right now you can see, out of these 3 vehicles versus these 4, okay, and only one of them has successfully made a delivery, these 4 here are already outperforming these 3 here. And also, these 3 vehicles have been running since the beginning versus these 4 who have only started about a month ago, maybe 2. It is taking a little bit longer to get to the destinations than I thought, due to the fact of the matter that it is such a far drive, and the top speed of these things is 17 miles per hour. So we're going to go ahead and unpause this here, and you can see just how slow this vehicle cruises down the road. Now, its graphics are definitely worse than most of the vehicles in this game, which is kind of interesting, but either way. So now the next thing to figure out here is, now that we are actually becoming slightly profitable, we have to figure out, are we maximizing production or max efficiency or not? And as you can see, just at this one station right here, there is over 250 passengers waiting. Now, luckily for us, this bus is going to come in and pick up 34 of them. But in order to drop that number down to 0, we're going to need a lot more buses on that long run. Now, that gets expensive because each one of those buses, we'll go ahead and choose clone new vehicle here, right there. Each bus is $4,500, if I could speak. And that will quickly drain our $200,000 loan right there. So we can't just start throwing out hundreds of these buses and hoping to make profits that way. Now what we'll do is we'll go, dang it, we'll go back over to this bus stop here, and you can see there's 130 people roughly waiting at this bus stop, which is basically collecting most of this town here. Again, that puts us at a total of about 400 to 500 people waiting for our bus services. So we need more buses for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm just going to triple the amount of buses we have, honestly, on the line. So we'll go ahead and click this, and we'll come down here. And because it's so easy, we'll just grab that. So we have 4. I don't know if this will put them going in different spots or not. That'll be good. We'll go ahead and start that off, and we'll see what happens there. So all these buses are going to come out. Unfortunately, I think they're all going to the same spot, so we're going to pause the game here real quick. Okay. More. I am going to click on this, though, because what the hell happened to bus 13? Bus 13 is in the front. Okay. Okay, so we kind of did it then. We did do it. All right, we got 4 of them going different directions now. Hopefully none of them are going directly to that depot in ahead here. And just going to turn right back around because that would be a huge waste. Either way, we're going to go ahead and pop open this guy and this guy, okay? And you can see we have 500 something passengers now. And that is quite a bit. And as you can see right here, actually, this city is now in the process of building something in these 4 places here. That's why their population has gone down. They just took a hit of roughly 400 people, maybe 350, in order to build those 3 pieces of whatever. It could be road that they're putting in. It could be a house. Hopefully it's housing and all of them. They're right there. That just went to a house, which is great, which means more people can now get to this station here. And when you look at this, you're like, holy shit. Just this station right here has 600 passengers almost in it. This one over here, 200. And finally, this one here, another 200. Just in this city, if we exclude this one, there is over 1,000 people that want to be taken to Tronlo. So, you can already see how this is kind of like, going to flow a little bit better. Now, what we could do is, if you really wanted to, we could have a bus that just travels between all of these. But you're going to have to throw in, like I just did, you're going to have a total of 15 buses trying to do that. And 1 or 2 of these stations, like this station here, is not, the lakeside one, does not have nearly as many passengers. So every time you send buses there, eventually you're going to start to lose money because you're only going to be picking up like 2 or 3 passengers from there, and then you're going to drive them over, and then the next bus comes in, it grabs 5, so on and so forth. This way kind of ensures that you always are picking up max. Okay, and just to give you an idea of the money that these buses are from city to city are giving, okay, compared to like this one here. So every time that bus 11 makes a single delivery of 34 people, it makes a profit of $1,300 basically, okay? The other one here, I just went into the depot for repairing, obviously, that comes from east here, okay, is going to only make $170. Now, he does that trip much, much quicker. Here's an interesting thing. All right. We just got offered, okay, a new bus from a manufacturer. A manufacturer, oh, damn it, I missed the new year. That makes sense now. A manufacturer, anyways, is offering us a new bus, okay, exclusively to us. For each vehicle is going to be $1,000 more. It moves at 22 miles per hour, so 5 miles per hour faster, but can only carry 12 passengers instead of 34. So now we have to decide if that's worth it or not. To me, I'm thinking that if we were to take them up on this deal, that would have to be the buses that are in our inner city, because getting only 12 passengers from for that long of a drive just wouldn't be nearly as profitable. Again, let's just say they're 40 squares away, so we're talking $130 per 10, or $300, I mean, for every 10 people. So that means for our one journey, one leg from there, from one city to the other city, anyways, we'd make $300. If they do that journey once a month, by the end of the year, they made $3,600 roughly. And currently, the way that our stuff sits, we should be able to make more than that, I think, a year. I'm just going to say we're just going to say yes, we'll buy it, and then at the end of this year, we'll compare it. So we're going to go ahead and put that bus actually in operation here. So we'll look at all these figures in here in a minute. Either way, though, I did want to say bus 3, I think it was. Nope, not bus 3. Is it bus 2 then? Nope, it's bus 1. Of course it is. Bus 1. Okay, so bus 1, the one that goes to East. East has made 2 deliveries now since 11, vehicle 11 anyways, has made 1. Again, that's netting, I forget what it was, 170 I think now. So 170, and 11 is way up here now. Okay, still not super far. It's about halfway though. As you can see already, halfway. And in order for that one to make the same amount of money, I think we said it needed to be 10, about 10 trips. Maybe it was, I don't know, that doesn't sound right. Either way, we'll look at it again here in a little bit, but let's go ahead and get these other bus runs set up. So our vehicle 1 is going to get 3 runs at 100 and what was it? 170, while vehicle 11 gets in 1 run. So vehicle 1 is going to be making what, $500, and vehicle 11 makes $1,300 or $1,400 in that same amount of time. So I think we can clearly see the winner here on this side. Again, though, you just look at it and be like, well, if you add 2 buses, right? If you had 2 buses doing the East, then your profit would be doubled, which is a reasonable assessment. However, in the long run, right, at the beginning anyways, quicker gains don't necessarily mean more profit. The more vehicles you have on the road isn't always better. Now, here comes in vehicle 17 for its first run. Let's just see how much money it makes compared to vehicle 1. $60. All right, now we're going to close all this stuff down, kind of let that run in the background a little bit. That's not what I wanted to do. We want to come here. Okay, so I like to look at these parameters here a little bit more, okay, and dive into them a bit. So, the beginning of the year, obviously we spent nearly 90 grand, over 90 grand, I guess, in new vehicles and construction. Okay, then to maintain our vehicles, it costs us about 3 grand a year. Property, so all of the bus stations that we own and our depots, cost us $6,000 a year. So, if between those two numbers right there, we make more here, then we're fine. We'll always be making a profit. It won't be that big of a deal. As you can see, we're only halfway roughly through the year now, and we've already met that. So we should be able to easily see $50,000 this year that we make, which would be great. Um, so again, as long as those two numbers never beat this number, we shouldn't ever go into debt. The next thing is, and we're going to slowly dwindle this down, is the loan interest. But we're going to go ahead and actually, I think, buy a bunch more vehicles. We got time to kill. We're a small business. We're going to go ahead and actually, we'll repay a little bit of that. So we have $60,000 in the bank. Vehicles are so cheap during this time frame that it really doesn't matter. We could spend, I mean, they're $4,000, $5,000 vehicles. Once you get into the later game, though, you'll be picking up vehicles that are 15, 20, $1,000 and stuff like that. So right now they're just so cheap that we're going to pay off some of that loan to keep our loan interest down a little bit. And we're going to let it go for a year or two probably and come back to it and see where we're at then.